We are going live yet again, and this stream it's pretty nice because we are up 50%. So let's get started. I'm just going to configure every stream on every channel. Should be fine. No checking, it was working perfectly all the past streams, so we can as well go on. I'm just going to check on Twitter whether we have it, and we're going on. So yeah, pretty nice action on Monday. Again, we got pretty much standard what we had for the past weeks. So pump over the weekend, people getting bullish, and then dump towards Monday and probably Tuesday. We're going to see that. Currently, we have this price action going down, but we're going to review what we had. We actually got hit with our take profits, which were a little bit too low, unfortunately. We got pretty nice take profits on both ETH and SOL, but we could of course run it higher. SOL was pretty good with $163 price, but if we got to take profit at 3,350 from 3,200, we could have went basically for 3,400, 500, but of course that's a backwards analysis, which doesn't mean anything. So far we got to highs of 3,600 and going down a little bit. I'm probably going to play a little bit to the downside and see what we can do and whether we can get a little bit of scalping along in this session and get some points here, also make some money along the way for a little bit of shorting. So bank, we just made $10, always nice, but we're probably also going to have, I think the price will break here. That's the probable thing here. We're going to see what will happen, but this is what I'm betting in this session, so maybe it's going to be a little bit more fast-paced. As you can see, so far, the price action is really going down. So we might be just start with observing that and betting on what happens here. I'm just looking into whether we want to close it right away or just let it ride for a little bit. I'm going to close it. And maybe reopen in a moment, but already did like $40 altogether, maybe. So it's always a good start for a little bit of scalping. So this is pretty unusual to start like that, but we're having pretty nice price action on Monday, so why not use it? We're going to see whether it goes much lower. So a little bit of scalping here. Trying to open again a position. Let's see whether maybe I will close that. Okay, a little bit of loss here, maybe, or oh no, we actually might be going lower. Yeah, we actually might be going lower, but let's see. Also, it already went down a little bit, so we're going to see whether we got this entire move unwinded. Here it's pretty good spot, so it can also stay here, but we're going to see. In a short term, I'm more on the bearish side, definitely, even though we just made money longing. So I'm going to let it run for a moment. Let's see what happens. I don't expect to have the reversal, so we should be fine without any take profit stop losses. I'm going just to maybe in a moment review what we have here and whether it's working on every channel. Seems like it's fine here on Twitter. So we're going to see what we have. Yeah, maybe let me close that and I will then be able to adjust to what's happening better. Yeah, so small reversal. Maybe we're going to take, let's give back our profits, but we're going to see what will happen. Probably we're going to have this kind of V break. So we're back to what we started with. Basically, well, a little bit, I guess, like $2, $3 more. But on top of that, we probably should be making some points. This is also the goal of this trading. We're doing that on Lighter. You have the code down below in the description, because we're trying to basically go with getting points as well. But yeah, let me looking at this price action, I'm going to maybe open it somewhere else so that I can see it directly. But what we're having here is looking at the portfolio for the past week. That was since basically since Friday, right? So what we did last week was we had ETH long, Sol long, and hedged that with BTC short. BTC short, of course, went negative and we were closed that. So if you look at that in a trade history, then you can see that. Let me go back to that. We closed the short for $250 loss, but then we did on ETH long, we did $500 almost, and then we did on Sol, we did something like 300 as well. So altogether around $500, right? So I'm going to write that down. So portfolio is that 150.75. So I can write it down, and then we're going to see the P&L that we're running. Yeah, I don't. So we had that. So from last time, that was basically like $500 and 34, right? Scalping ETH shorts, got TP'd on ETH, so BTC win. So that was a win with a P&L of $500. Pretty cool stuff. And we're going to also review how many points we got for the past week, because the points get distributed on Fridays. I think not really many. I think I checked that. So last week was like, yeah, half a point. So that's not really much. But always something. If you count 1 point to be something like from $50 to $100, this is still between $25 to $50 at the current OTC prices, which is also fine for the bonus on top of everything that we've been doing so far. So the goal here is to maybe first of all do a quick scalping, because also that's the premise of what we were supposed to be doing. And finally, we got a pretty nice price action to actually do it, so we can start doing that here. So that's one thing. The other thing is, of course, watching whales here. Most of the whales on the money printer category, so people who had over $1 million of P&L, still are pretty bearish, but they are not that bearish anymore. So it's only slightly bearish for some of the assets and bearish on the others. And then, well, I think so at least, because probably, yeah, I did refresh that. Other cool thing actually to watch is view the leaderboard for the Synthetics competition. There's this cool graph. If you didn't know, Synthetics is of course an exchange. They were super popular some time ago, and they keep on coming back with some of the competitions to bring people in. And they have right now a lot of people from crypto Twitter joining and trading. The premise is basically you get a demo account with like 500k in the first round, another $50,000 in the second round, so 100k in total to trade. And then the winners will get, well, the winner will get like, I think $1 million for the first prize, right? And then up to 10 places you get some money in SNX tokens. and Infinex patrons price, which is also pretty cool, I think. And yeah, the guy in the first spot is up to almost $1 million from 100. So he did like 7x, 8x right now. Really cool stuff. You can see also what he's doing. He basically has a long BTC long position. So he played pretty nicely recently. As you can see, he then, especially in the beginning, he managed to hit quite a big trade. Then he got this massive trade here, and he was basically at 600 levels, and then he's even higher. I don't think anyone is catching up to him. There's a lot of people trying to do that, but of course, especially trading on Perps is super risky. You should always remember you can lose all your capital, but you can also win quite a lot. And this competition shows it really, really well, because if you check from week to week, then basically a lot of those people changes in the positions from 2 to 10. There were many, many different changes. For example, I think what are the examples? Keyboard Monkey was here at some point. He was here, 78th spot right now with a portfolio of $1,000, but he was up like $200,000, and then he went all the way down. I think same for recently Don Alt. He was second with like $300,000, and then he should be somewhere here, I guess. Let me check. Well, yeah, he got zeroed out right now. Right, so you can see that this is basically also the story of James Wynn. If you remember, recently he went to like almost $100 million PNL and then got zeroed out on that. And this is a story of like how risk management is super important, because it's very easy to, well, maybe it's not that easy to win, but it's definitely very easy to lose. And if you don't have a proper risk management, like taking some funds off, maybe trying some other stuff, then you're going to get destroyed pretty quickly. And there's no way you're going to there's no way you're going to recover that capital. So it's always, you have to be always careful about what kind of positions you're entering, whether you have stop losses, take profits, what's the goal for what you're doing, and think in terms of probabilities rather than certainties. So what kind of probability you can assume certain scenario getting in. So this is what I'm doing right now is basically trying to scalp a little bit of those moves, but it can also go horribly wrong. But most, if I keep on watching the positions, then probably you won't lose that much if you were to lose it, because usually you can quickly close and short. So unless you got those crazy weeks, but then still you got those crazy weeks from time to time, which can get liquidated you entirely. Yep. We're going to see what will happen then. So yeah, we got a couple of moves. Probably we got up to almost 0 PNL, or at least something. Yeah, we got a little bit below because we had 75, we have 68, but we got a couple of trades, so that might count towards the point. A little bit of volume is always good, even though it's not the volume that count. It's also what you trade, whether you're winning, losing. So we're going to see. As a reminder, you can check this points calculator here. The link should be somewhere below as well, or just go to cryptoexchange.sh and you can just check, what we can expect from Lighter. Let's say at 10 points, this is what I have with this account, and $5 billion FDV. The points should be worth around $100, which would give me $1,000 for this particular number of points. You can of course try it with different amounts here for like $3 billion FDV. I guess one is more on the minimal level, I think, for what they're building. I think 25% is also pretty much confirmed. So that's cool. And of course, you can see at all those other exchanges, from Extended to Bullpen, Pacifica Variational, EdgeX, Vest, Austrian Paradex, and more are probably coming soon as well here. I'm trying to list all the exchanges with a proper points program where you can really calculate the value of point, because that's the premise here. And also other cool thing that I wanted to mention is you have the arbitrage on top. And if you go, then you can find places where you are actually making money from holding those arbitrage positions, where you short the same asset on, say, for example, Lighter, long it on extended, and you make the difference. And sometimes this difference is pretty considerable. But of course, in these two cases of Mon and Mega, those are pre-TGE tokens. So basically, you don't trade with tokens, you trade with some kind of contracts, and that's why you have those kind of differences across the markets. But a couple of places already list them, especially Lighter, Extended, Hyperliquid, and you can trade those. I have 4 exchanges right now: Hyperliquid, Pacifica, Extended, Lighter, and plan on adding more as well. Mostly from the DEXs, because I think this goes well with the points calculator. If you're trying to have more volume across the DEXs, then this is pretty good. And you can also do pretty nice strategies here. Okay, coming back to Lighter. So this is the points. We don't have the position. So overall, what I wanted to do here is probably enter something more long-term. As a reminder, I'm mostly trading on Mondays and Fridays here on a stream. And in order to really grow the account, I need to take more degenerate bets. Basically, what this guy is doing here with the synthetics competition. As you can see, most of them are entering like 50x, 25x leverage positions in order to really have a shot at being at the top of the list. So yeah, let's have a look at BTC. Is doing pretty good. Yeah, compared recently to Ethereum, I think Solana is pretty underperforming. So what I'm tempted to do is have some kind of a long on Solana and maybe do like hedge with ETH. That would be, I guess, yeah. The only problem is that here you can see our pretty nice TP last time actually from Friday. We really bought at the lowest point and then basically set the TP at this level, which was pretty nice. The problem is that we probably can go back to those levels. So this is the line that so like 163. Yeah, I'm not sure. Whether I just want to short here. Or maybe just do nothing. It's all, like lately market is super really hard in terms of like because you can get liquidated in both ways, especially if you're playing with leverage. You just have so much volatility that if you use like larger leverage, then it's very easy to get liquidated along the way. Yeah, I can try doing something like, let me go with something like that, I guess. Some long on Solana and short on Ethereum. On the cross, so that should be fine. Let me try to see something. Stop losses. Yeah, this is probably... the one I want to play with. And then for Solana, I can do that. So let me go with previous levels. I'm going to find levels like that. This should be fine, actually. So yeah, so let me run with this one. So this is actually betting on, this is longing Solana to ETH pair. It's pretty neutral. I think like especially Solana got more badly hit with recently and still didn't recover as much as Ethereum. Percentage why I probably should check. I probably want to check Ethereum to what I want to check. I want to check how far it is from the all-time high, or at least from like the next significant level. So I think for significant level for Solana is like $200, and for Ethereum it's 4,000. And just looking at it, it's Solana is much farther away right now from $200 than ETH is from its level of $4,000. It's like the difference. Let me just check them. We can check the chart here. I would go with this is 20% here to 20% to $200, and for Ethereum to go to $4,000, it's like 12%, or maybe even a little bit higher, because yeah, it's like 13%. So this is basically my thinking, right? Let's Ethereum running over $4,000. It's like Solana running over $200, and this is the kind of the position that I would take in order to minimize the risk, because I'm not confident enough to take a position where I'm just fully directional in one direction. I want to take some kind of a position to get the points, of course, but I'm just not sure on the outcome, as I was like lately, because from here it can go both directions. We can get resumed action on the higher up, but because it's Monday, because we had pump over the weekend, and because in the last time what happened was we had dumps over the couple of days, I'm more for the couple of the next days, I'm more on the bearish side. But on the other hand, we are pretty low. There are bullish signals everywhere, and it still might not be the end of the bull market. So I'm basically 50-50 where it can go from here, and don't want to risk it all. So we're going to do that. We'll probably make some money along the way, which should be fine. We already are actually. But yeah. This is a pretty safe position. I mean, there's of course, with this kind of positions, you can always can get hit on a short and a long phase, but I think we only will get hit with the stop loss on one of the sides and take profits on the other. asset, so this should be fine. And I think for the way I set it up, it should mean that we will end up with small profit and some nice volume, so it should be fine. Okay, I think that's cool for now. I wanted to check some of the other things that people are doing here. Also, in the meantime, let me maybe check if there are like any comments or something. And yep. Anyway, I think we're good. Let me see what other people are doing here. And also I wanted to check some of the other assets. So because if Solana are falling down, then some other stuff might be even more down. Starknet has pretty substantial run recently, but I wouldn't short it because with those hyperbolic runs, you never know whether they can keep on going. Useless. Actually, I wanted to see fart coin. Yeah. Fart coin got really hit over time. I think Pepe as well. Actually, let me check. I wanted to check. Yeah, $2.5 billion. Yeah, I remember Pepe was just around like $10 billion the beginning of the year. If you look at the market cap here, it's pretty crazy, right? Like, so the top was around mid-December, and then it went down. Of course, April. Around tariffs, that was around 2.5, but we're basically at the same level. So Pepe never recovered. And if you look at the max price, it's really super low. So we had this tariffs period, then we had September, so that was just before the November run. And before that, we really had the prices. Even 2024 was higher than where we are right now. And before that, we had the levels from 2023, around like $500 billion. So pretty crazy. And if you look at the top coins, well, of course, after 10th of October, a lot has changed, but we still might having, a little bit of the last innings of the bull market. I don't think this is, well, unless of course you count all this period right now as a bear market and we're looking for the new bull market, which might be the case also. This is really more of the last innings of the bull market. One of the assets that I'm looking at, of course, from the other side is, of course, hype. But still, I'd love to buy more hype at the pre-$40 levels. And also, it's hard to say what will happen to hype when we start the proper bear market. It will, of course, tank a little bit, but whether we go to like $30 level or maybe we go to like $10 level, who knows? this will be the first bear market for Hype, because this is a pretty new token. Just I think like this is I think first anniversary right now, because it went live around 1st November if I remember correctly last year. So it's really pretty new one. So we're going to see how it behaves on the multi-year framework. Other asset I'm looking at is the thing that I already longed and short multiple times, and it went down quite a lot. I think it's still pretty on the low side. Of course, it doesn't mean it can't go lower, especially if you look at the perspective. Where is it? At the longer time frame, right? It was at the $5 billion. Right now, it has the market cap of Pepe, basically 2.5. But of course, a lot can happen. We can get another run here, or basically just get stopped out, and that will be it. But it looks pretty bottom out. I'd say I wanted to add a little bit of the long here. The only problem is that if ENA is pretty correlated to Ethereum, if Ethereum will keep dipping, and that's very probable here, then this is going to be a massacre for ETHNA as well. I'm just thinking, well, what can I take like a small position here? More on directional side actually. Maybe it's not let me check what yeah, I think invalidation is definitely below 295. That's the this will be steep, but yeah. Yeah, let me do a steep take profit. So we're going to almost double from here. So this is an optimistic scenario that we're going to really, that was the bottom, and we're going to go a little bit up. I think the last time the price was, let me check the last 3 months for the price action to make sure that, yeah, just last month before October 10th, we had the price at the level of 0.5. So it's definitely doable to achieve. It will be but it's pretty optimistic. I'm going to have it here. Let me see how it behaves. We're going to see. So this is pretty directional. As I've mentioned on this Stellana ETH pair, we're going to. This is probably going to be a small win or a small loss, but mostly a small win. And on ENA, I'm more of the opinion that actually it's looking good here because it's so bottomed. Of course, the same thing can happen to what's happening with XPL right now. So XPL has been down only for like weeks. From the launch, it went to like almost $2, right? And then it's 30 cents right now. So it's really went down like 80-90% from the top, and it's been almost down only. If you look even at the last month, it's I think that maybe the bottom was around here, who knows, but it's still, FDV is still of $3 billion, market cap $500 million, so it's still pretty large. ETHNA is large as well, but pretty much in the same category. I don't know, I like more ETHNA here. XPL is of course a great project as well, with backing from Tether team, so it must be doing something cool. But we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to probably end here. Those positions are cool to hold, just going to note them. So what we're doing right now is got TP'd scalping ETH shorts, and then sold ETH long plus ENA long. So we're more directionally long. but just a little bit because of right? This is so yeah, I think this is looking good. I'm going to keep those. Let me just check. Oh, those are good levels. I just wanted to compare how, the numbers on wins and losses here. I'm going to maybe update that to now. I'm going to keep it as this. I think this might be a bigger loss, but it's definitely below the bottom that I was in. So in the worst case, it might do something like we're going to oscillate around this level and then go up perhaps. Or if we get like proper bear market, proper weeks down, then it's going to be much worse. Yeah, anyway, this is probably it for this session. Thank you for watching. Tune in on next Friday or Monday. And yeah, thank you for watching.